What's up, Invincible Entrepreneurs? Happy Friday! All right, so I don't usually work this late on Fridays. This late, it's like 3 o'clock. But I wanted to chat with you guys about something. So we've been talking a lot about in the 30-day group about how to get your leads, how to make sure you know who you're talking to, how to get your group going, all of that kind of stuff. And now we're at the point where we're starting to get some DM conversations going, and we're getting on sales calls. Okay, and so some of the things that I see coming up are probably coming up for a lot of you guys, so I want to talk about this, okay? When you are doing sales calls, let's start in the DM, okay? So a lot of these conversations are going to start in the DM. So you've made a post, you've gotten in contact with your ideal client, you've posted something, they're talking to you, and you're like, hey, I'm going to, let's jump in the DM and start talking, right? So you start asking them, what they need, how you can serve them, kind of getting an idea of if what you do is something that they need, and if you'd be able to help them, okay? A lot of times in the DMs, people are going to say, well, what does it cost to work with you? What do you do? How much is it? Etc. Okay. That trips up a lot of people, and it used to trip me up all the time with our gym. It was like, people are like, well, I just want to know how much it is. And it was really hard because I was like, no, you need to know the value of what we do and why we're different. And even if you're a good fit and I'm a good fit for you, right? Because you guys need to understand this as a coach, as a business owner. You don't have to take everyone, right? Like, you get to decide just as much as they do if this is a good fit and it's a good working relationship for you guys to be together, okay? So when it's cost, people don't see value and they don't see investment. So you really need to make sure that you're not just like, here's my price, whatever, right? Unless you have a self-led course that you're just like selling for $100, then you can do that. But if you're actually coaching somebody, then you really need to make sure that you're getting in a conversation with them, okay? So a lot of times when people are talking to you, their first barrier is going to be cost, right? And that's not really a barrier. It's their first objection because it's the easiest thing they know to go to. It's a protector, right? They're like, I don't know if I want to do this. This is scary. What if I can't afford it? What if I talk to you and then I can't afford it? Like, we all have, not everyone, but most people have some kind of money story. So you really need to understand that question of how much does it cost is really just a protector. Okay. So it's something that you need to overcome, and that you need to work through and not answer in the DMs. Okay. You should never be telling somebody what the cost of your program is in the DMs. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to say, you want to acknowledge it and say, I have lots of different options and different ways that we can work together. What we need to do from here is jump on a phone call so we can see if we're a good fit, see if I'm the best coach for you, and make sure that what I do is really going to help you get the outcome that you desire, right? And so that's the other thing, you guys, that's coming up is don't be afraid to ask for the phone call, okay? If you're charging premium prices for either group or one-to-one coaching, if these people won't get on a phone call with you, they're not your ideal client, right? The person that wants to work with you should want to talk to you. They should want to ask you questions. They should want to know about, what you do and how you do it and all that kind of stuff. But for you, you really need to chat with them. You need to see, like, are you the best person for them? Can you actually help them? Where are they? Is this a good fit? Like, energetically, do you guys work together? You need to be able to answer all of their objections before you ever get to cost, right? So in what I teach, we go through this long strategy of 10 clarities so that you're going to understand all of the things that people ever have an objection to, and you're going to answer it before you ever get to the close, right? Before you ever get to the pitch, before you ever get to the close. If you do this right and you really listen to someone, you help them problem solve, you shift their mindset on a sales call. If you do all of those things, when you get to the point where, like, technically you would pitch, the ideal goal is that they're going to be like, well, you're going to ask the question, where do we go from here? And they're going to be like, well, how do I work with you? Right? So you really want to get to the point where people are like, how do I work with you? How do I work with you? How do I work with you? Because here's the thing, you guys, you have the answer to someone's struggle, to the outcome that they want, right? So you got to remember, in sales, it's a relationship. It's an invitation, okay? But the biggest thing, and my coach Ryan Idell says this all the time, is that leaders go first, right? You are the leader of the sales call. You are the leader of this coaching program. You are the leader of those things. You need to go first, right? And so in this, you get to go first. You get to lead them. You get to show them. You get to be the one asking questions. You get to care about them. Leaders go first, right? And so when you're in the DM, don't let the money question like throw you off, right? You can ignore it, you can whatever. I mean, and if you have people that are like, well, if your program is thousands of dollars, I can't afford it. That's cool. That's fine to know too. If you have a lesser program, that's great too. But the other thing about sales calls is that when you get on sales calls, you need to be very clear with what your intention is, and then if it's not a good fit, right? Like, I've done sales calls with people that I would love to work with, but they don't at that point in their life have enough they don't have enough cash flow in their life to be comfortable. And if somebody's in that position, I'm not going to charge them my one-to-one rate. Like, I'm not going to take them as a client, because in integrity, that doesn't make sense for me, right? Like, if someone is barely getting by, I'm not going to be like, well, this is my one-to-one pricing, which is not cheap. I'm not going to offer that to them, right? And so I do some goodwill coaching. I had a client call yesterday for my like life coaching side of things. And this woman needs my help, and I'm going to help her, and she cannot afford my services. So we're working out a trade per se, where she's going to help me do some of the stuff in my life because she didn't want to hand out. And honestly, like, you guys can decide that you have to be in integrity with what your values are. But I knew from the beginning of that call that the universe had sent her to me and that I was meant to help her. And I knew very early on that phone call that she couldn't afford what I charge. And that's fine, right? But I get to make that choice in the moment at the right time to say, okay, I'm choosing to serve this woman because she needs it. And I, in integrity with my belief as a human being, am not going to be like, well, sorry, you don't have the money, I'm not going to do that, right? But you can't do that with everyone. So you really got to pay attention to what's in integrity for you, getting on the phone with people, being honest, like going in knowing that, leaders go first, and then the 3 rules of sales, okay? Always do what's best for the client. So if you go from that context, always do what's best for the client. Sometimes that means not taking their money because they can't afford you. Sometimes that means pushing them outside of their comfort zone, because the only way they're going to grow and the only way they're going to change is by getting outside of their comfort zone, right? Sometimes that means asking them hard questions. Sometimes that means being honest and being very truthful and saying, look, you're where you are right now because of X, Y, and Z, and you're going to stay there unless we start working together, right? That's in the best interest of the client, right? Second rule is that growth is outside of our comfort zone, right? So growth is always outside of our comfort zone. It's true for you, and it's true for your clients. And you guys have heard me talk about this before. The third rule is that people are going to fight like hell to stay in their comfort zone, right? So you get to determine, and you get to hold space for somebody, and you get to show them that where they are now is not where they want to be, and you get to show them the way to get outside of their comfort zone, to know that they're going to be held, to know that they're going to be safe, to know that there's going to be a different way and another side of this. And then you get them to the point where they're starting to ask you, how do I work with you? What do I need to do to work with you? How can I work with you, right? And so you need to know on sales calls, like, high value, low attachment, right? If you're like, I have to have this call, oh my gosh, I need the money, but they're going to feel that, right? So you have to go in, provide a ton of value, help them, show them, guide them, hold them, keep them safe. But have low attachment to the sale, right? So you need to get to the point that in your business where energetically you can show up for them, you can be in that good place, and you can know that when the right person comes to you, that it's going to be a simple invitation and a simple close per se for you to invite them to take the next step to change their life and to do the thing that they got on the call with you with, right? If they agree to a conversation with you, they believe that you have the answer to their problem, okay? You need to know that going in, and you need to know that it's a group decision, and also that, like, they need you. It's not that you need them, but they need you. And so when you go in it with that intention, and yes, you need them too, probably, but you have to know that they're not in control, right? Leaders go first. You are in control of the call, of the conversation, the DMs, of all of that kind of stuff, okay? You have to get into the true belief that you have what they need, right? So you have to ask yourself, if someone did exactly what I told them, can I get the outcome that they desire, right? You need to know in your heart that you can do that. And then if that's the case, when the right people come to you, it's very simple to offer them an invitation to show them how they can go from where they are to where they want to be with the help of your coaching. All right. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing week. Happy Friday. We're going to go pick up Carson. Sky and I decided to sort of play dress up on Friday afternoon because we can. So I have lots of curls. She has lots of curls. Sky, you want to show them your curls? She has on a very fancy dress, and all we're going to do is go watch her sister play soccer. So this is my mini-me. Say hi. Hi. So we had Friday afternoon dress up and a little bit of work. So anyway, I hope you guys are well. Have an amazing weekend. If you have questions about this, let me know. If you guys want me to go deeper into sales training, I would love to do that. I love sales, and if you're in a business, you need to love sales too. So appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.